everybody! Welcome to this episode of Fifi Quest, the only transgender-themed podcast that starts with true Norwegian black metal. Yeah! You listen to this in your garage while you light a candle, you got it Spencer's Gifts, and you play Dungeons & Dragons or Magic the Gathering. Yeah! True Norwegian black transgenderism. So kvelt. Alright, this one's too much of a downer. I'm playing. This is from Mayhem. This is Freezing Moon. Yeah! It's the early 90s, and it's in Norway, and the people who made these bands thought they were important, but they weren't. And now it's the 2000s, and you're living as a boy, but you don't even realize that you're a girl inside, so you're a massive edgelord. And it was still the 2000s, so you like, being anti-religious still kind of, like, actually meant something. So you listen to black metal and watch churches burn down. Bah! Wrong. This singer shot himself, which is very sad, because he was a little cutie pie. Alright, that's enough of that crap. Hello. Hello, everybody. Good to be here. I don't know why I began this with black metal. Here's the thing. I feel like trannies love at least one of these three things. Black metal, the Sopranos, or I want to say Star Trek, but that's, or Tom Waits, that's it. Black metal, Sopranos, or Tom Waits. Any given transgender female loves at least one of those things. I'm calling it. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here. Good to be here being silly. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I gotta be just... This podcast is about being super honest, so I think I'll just tell you right off the bat that I've had a really bad weekend. Like right now I feel kind of weird, like I didn't contour my face and just barely kind of threw on enough makeup to do this, and yeah, and well, I'll just tell you what happened. I was up hiking in Big Bear, making silly videos, and, yeah, I've talked about this before. I've known I have some hair loss, you guys, that I'm doing stuff about. Like, I'm taking minoxidil, and I'm doing canola oil treatments, and I just ordered some biotin, which helps hair and nails and stuff, and I took a video of myself and I kind of turned my head in it a little bit, and it was kind of, I didn't realize, like, my hair loss was that visible from that angle, and it was just like, pow, and I gotta be honest, it really messed me up, you guys. Like, I just... yeah, I really felt ashamed. I felt ashamed of myself, and, and I like to think that I'm, having a lot of fun and having a good time with all this stuff, and, but it was like just in that moment, it was just like so clear to me. It was like something was telling me, like, who the fuck are you kidding? Look at this. Is this what a woman's hair looks like? Huh? And it just... You know, I really, growing up where I grew up, people were really mean. Um, I, you know, it didn't take a lot to get made fun of in South Dakota, and, you didn't have to be that different to really be made fun of by people. And I've had issues with like certain loved ones and certain people in my family, like really really enjoying humiliating me and putting me down. And so I have a real fear that like that's really what life is doing. And a lot of my conception of the world is, hey, people say, like I went to a Catholic school, and people say things like, oh, we love you, and, you're great, but like, secretly you're going to hell, and secretly we think you're disgusting. And, I felt, when I saw that video of my hair loss, I had all these beliefs like, no, I can walk around in the world and I can be safe, and people are supportive of me. And it was like, oh, look at this, see this, you are a joke and you look absolutely ridiculous. And everyone's just, like when I was in school or in my little town, it's like, yeah, we love you, and yeah, right, yeah, I said those words. But secretly not. And I really got down with it. So what I think I'm gonna do, I've said I was maybe gonna do this. I think I'm gonna show you guys just my hair without anything on it. And why not? So this is what my hair looks like right now. And I think I'll show you what it looks like in the back, and kind of, because maybe if I show you guys, I won't be so afraid, and maybe I'll own it, and I won't feel ashamed, and it won't be able to hurt me. So here we go. Right, I'm not in a very well lit room right now, but like when I'm outside, it just feels so just pow, and like it feels so bright to me. And I turned my head like this, and I just was like, felt in, I don't know. So that's that, I guess. Yeah, I almost didn't do an episode, you guys. I know it might not sound like much, but I kind of find that I don't really sometimes I feel like little things that maybe are, hurt my feelings or mean, or things that make me feel embarrassed. I think maybe a lot of the way I deal with that is, I act like it doesn't bother me, or I think it doesn't, but sometimes I feel it's like taking a little eyedropper and filling up a bucket, and and a lot of times I'm like, it's just a drop of water, I can deal with a drop of water, I'm a big girl. But I think it's slowly filling up the bucket, and then after so many things, eventually there's just one little drop that makes it spill over, and it's just like, what the fuck? And I kind of flip out, maybe. So I don't know. Well, look, bottom line is, Well, I'll tell you what happened this morning. I had another appointment with the endocrinologist. She doubled everything I was taking, so I am now up to 8 milligrams of estrogen a day instead of 4. And my spironolactone, which is a testosterone blocker, I'm getting bumped up to 200 milligrams a day instead of 100. And testosterone, like all hair loss treatments really are just testosterone blockers, and that's what that is. So I mean, I've got more of a shot than anyone. And you know what? Like, long story short, I can just buy hair. Just go to a hair place and be like, put some in. I don't need a lot. I just need a little to cover up the space. And then I'm just gonna curl over anyway. So fudge it. So fudge it. You know what I say to you? Hair loss. You know what you can go to listen to? Yeah! I'm an elite, yeah! Suck on that, hair loss. I'm gonna even bump it up the new album from Mayhem. Have some of that, hair loss. Go get crucified on a concert stage in Poland and get banned, like Gorgoroth did. By the way, I don't know who knows my references or is a fan of like both this podcast or some of the things I like, but we ought to be friends because I feel like that's a narrow piece of the pie, team. Gee, dang it. You know, it's just... Yeah. It just is what it is, you guys. That's part of it. And, you know, another thing I think, too, is I have a lot of shame about sexuality. For most of my life, I thought that my sexuality was just gross and people would hurt me if they saw it. Like it was some disgusting, shameful thing. And I think sometimes, like, I'm only... You know, sexuality is that thing inside us. It's like an engine, you know, it's always running, and it's this thing that drives us towards intimacy with ourselves and intimacy with other people. You know, and intimacy with life, really. I mean, when I'm feeling myself in a very sensual way, that's when I feel I'm most really present and vulnerable in the world, you know? And to just treat that like it's a terrible thing is a really miserable way to go through life. I'm really trying to incorporate my sexuality in like my life and my art and my everything. And you know, I don't mean like being on stage and like pulling up my garter belt or whatever. Like, you know, Buffalo, okay, I want you to come out tonight. Like, just the idea that I feel in my body. I mean, I'm looking at my reflection in this, and I even see a really marked difference in my body language now than when I started the video. And there's a helicopter going by again. When I was up in Big Bear, I saw a helicopter take a big bucket and dump it on the lake, or fill it up in the lake and then dump it on a fire. I mean, I hope everybody's okay, but it was cool watching helicopters dump water onto things. And, you know, I don't, I try not to get bogged down by... I think justifiable resentment is a really dangerous thing, because, you know, if I wanted to, I could sit here and tell you a reason why I have a right to feel like God cheated me, or I got some terrible shake at life, or, you know, I could sit here and be like, well, I look like a freak, and I'm 33 years old, and I'm starting my transition now, and that means years of looking like a, quote, freak, and what a terrible thing that is to do to me, and I resent cis women for just being the way they are, and how dare they ever complain about anything when I would kill this to be them, and I have to jump through all these hoops just to maybe look like them. And, I could find a lot of people who agree with that. It's very easy to convince myself of that. I wouldn't have to go too far online to be swamped with people who will be ready and willing to agree with that. That would not help me. That would not help me at all. Yeah. You know, fact of the matter is, I was having a lovely time on the hike, and then I'm just gonna let one little video of something imperfect about me just be like, well, you don't get to be happy anymore. You know, and I sometimes think that I worry that maybe Goddess is kind of setting me up to be humiliated, like is feigning nice things for me, and was gonna yank the rug away and be like, ha, you look like a freak, or ha, you're bald, or ha, when I start to feel good, knock me down. And I'm now, something I try to do, it's like, the situation in which I grew up is not the world. Sometimes I act like it is, and I think like, okay, playing the part of my dad is this person. I'm, in my 30s, and this person's playing my dad, and this person's playing my mom, and these people are playing Hollywood's playing my school, and, I think it's important to stop acting like, hey, this little area that I grew up in, I grew up in the world, this little area, this little box I grew up in, that's the whole world. I don't even think, I think if I could go back with the skills I have now, I don't even think that box would be that way. I don't. So, it's not even fair to judge the box that way. It's definitely not fair to judge the world that way. And, yeah, I've had people in my life and in my family who, yeah, I'm kind of afraid of to this day. And I'm now realizing, I think like, well, that's just the way life is, and it's not. It's the way a relationship I've had with someone for a time worked, and I'm not even, how many times have I taken new skills into that? I mean, never, really. So, I don't even know if I can judge that relationship like that with any kind of permanence, let alone apply it to anywhere beyond that, let alone the world. So, yeah, and I look at like my little town growing up, and I think I might have said this before, but when I came out as trans, so many people wrote me out of the blue saying, I'm so happy for you, this is so great, I mean, I'm so happy you get to be happy, I'm happy you're being your real self. And a lot of these people are either people from high school that I didn't keep in touch with at all, and I never see, and I have no reason, have no kind of relationship with, or they're like people's moms, not even friends' moms, really, who hit me up. And everyone, you could not be, I had all these visions of how where I grew up and just things about it that I thought were just so that I applied to the rest of the world and be like, well, the world just treats me like this, and this is just the way it is, and no one wants that. But it's the same people, it's like literally that belief I can trace back to a handful of people, and those people reach out to me and love me, So I certainly don't think I have any right to act like California or the world or anywhere else is like that. Which, by the way, I'm gonna get something off my tits here. If you're, based on what I just said, if you're a transphobe, okay, look, like South Dakota, all due love and respect to people who live there, but nothing cool has ever happened there or ever will. Not since statehood has a cool thing happened in South Dakota. Deadwood was when it was still a territory, so this checks out, I feel. And, so if you're from, like, and like I said, so many people are like, hey, Fifi, you're awesome. And, and we're talking the churchiest of church moms, the redneckiest of rednecks. And they all came out of the woodwork and said, Fifi, you're awesome, and I love what you're doing. So if you're from, like, a California or a Sacramento or, like, anywhere bigger than South Dakota, like Nebraska, say, and you have a problem with trans people, you really are a fucking loser. I mean, if church ladies at the fucking Lutheran bingo would be like, get the fuck over it, you dweeb, and then, like, ride away on a motorcycle with their, like, dead Kennedys patches on their leather jacket, like, I mean, sort your fucking life out. I've been thinking a lot about, stuff I used to enjoy lately. Like I said, I was just listening to some black metal that I loved when, I was in college, and deep couldn't even have told you if I was trans or not. Like, I was so disconnected from who I really was, and I've been looking to get back into video games. I think I'm gonna get a Nintendo Switch and some Breath of the Wild, and, I don't know if I'll get Animal Crossing, though. I know every tran in the world has Animal Crossing, but I'm like, guys, look, this shit is gay. I mean, you plant flowers, and you build, you fish or whatever, and it's just a little, we can edge it up I understand escaping, but we can edge it up a bit, We are adults, after all. Like, how afraid are we of the world if we're playing Animal Crossing? But I think but by the way, you know what, I'll give you this. Like, I used to, when I was a kid, I was all like, Senator Lieberman wants to take away my video games, because he thinks that they cause violence, and that guy's so uncool, and, they don't cause violence at all. Meanwhile, I'm playing them all day, and I have severe anger issues, and I would have got sent to the guidance counselor many times if South Dakota had any goddamn sense of emotional health of any kind. But my point is I used to be one of those people, and to this day, I'm very much like a never censor anything. I don't really like violent stuff anymore, but people need to be able to watch what they want. I watched someone play Mortal Kombat 11 the other day. That shit is fucking disgusting. And children should not play it. It's insane. What have you little school shooters been up to with just playing this insane violent nonsense? It's like, I remember it was like, oh no, if you punch Sub-Zero, some sand might come out, and then he'll turn into don't do the fatality, he'll turn into a little clip art skeleton, and now it's like, you do you don't even, I'm not even talking about the fatalities, just the regular moves are like, you have shattered 17 vertebrae, but you gotta count. I want to come off like a, like a Kyle's mom over here, but, I don't think you should be counting the vertebrae you break in your children's game. Jeez Louise! You kids today. But yeah, I don't know. I think I deserve some fun, and I think that I think there are people and places in life where I can, if I were a little more open to, I'd be open to more love and be open to more fun and open to more fun things. And what I think is maybe a lot for me. Be like, oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. I can't accept that love from you or someone else. What I think is, I think that's me devaluing myself, and I think if I were to write something down and be like, Fifi, you're not really worth more than, because I kind of know my money limits on stuff, and I think if I were to write down, the actual verbalization of that belief, but Fifi, you're not really worth more than this much of fun, I think it would look very dark and evil and abusive to myself, and there are a lot of things that are different now about how willing I am to receive love from the world, and how it's cruel to turn it away, and from people who want to give it to me, and of any kind, and how if I came to these things with a new attitude, I'm, maybe life wouldn't be like, I need to get as much as I can to build the walls as high as possible from life, because life is so horrible. Maybe if I walked out into life and in certain places with the vibe of I am willing to receive love, maybe I'd realize how much love to give, and maybe I couldn't see the love around me because of the walls that I built up. And I'm really grateful that I can't get away with building those walls higher and higher. Some people can. I'm here in Hollywood. I know I could name drop some people on this podcast, and and I don't want to, because also I don't want to inventory everyone's life, and I want to wish everyone well and go from a place of love to stuff. But I know a lot of people who have everything and they're not that happy, and that's not the life that I want for myself. And I want the way my life to get bigger to be because, hey, here I am in the middle, and I'm in the middle of the flow of everyone, and I believe in myself, and I believe I'm love-worthy, and I believe you guys are love-worthy and love-giving, and I think enough of you to think that you want to give love places, because you deserve to be thought that way. And that's how I want to get big, by being in the flow. I don't want to get big anymore by going off alone and scratching around in the dirt and then pointing to life going, fuck you, I did it. I built my tower this high, and I built the walls this thick, and you can never get in, and then just be alone on the inside. I don't want that. So anyway, I think that's about an episode. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. If you're a fan of the show, as always, I would appreciate if you could tweet it around and, and tell your friends. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to write to me at fifiquestpodcast@gmail.com, that'd be great. And I really love you guys, and I thank you for listening, because this podcast really helps me a lot, and I hope it's entertaining for you, and I hope it's meaningful for you. And I have to live life like my story is valuable, because I lived like it wasn't, and it didn't work out for me. So this podcast is part of me believing that me as I am is valuable and worth something to people, and worth something to me. And thanks for being a part of that. I love you guys. Bye.